on to the show.
Get on to this stupid show.
They should do the whole show.
On the headphones.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
There we go. Okay.
Like the video's playing, well, that's weird. Is the audio just turned off?
It must be.
No, the audio is not. No audio playing is what it says. That's weird. Sorry about that. I didn't really realize that was going on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ringside Review, the world's only podcast about wrestling. Isn't that right?
In Waco, Texas. Yes, that's right. In Waco.
The whole entire world.
Yeah, whole entire.
I'd like to introduce my co-host at this time, the realest guy in the room, Seth Holberg.
And I like to introduce the Ayatollah.
You're supposed to say,
"Oh, hi everybody, how you doing there? It's good to see you. It's good to see you too, Mike." And as I like to, Jesus, there's no music. It feels weird. And I like to introduce my other co-host, the Ayatollah of I Told You So, Mike McBride.
Hey, that was good. I actually like that.
You're welcome.
Hey, tonight we're going to be talking about all things wrestling.
Ooh.
Because why not?
Sure.
Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. All right. Honestly, there's a spoiler about who our guest is. So we just might as well just go ahead and talk about it. We have a very exclusive guest with us tonight. I don't know why I'm just so out of it this morning or this morning.
Wow.
I'm out of it. I don't know what's going on tonight. We have a very special guest in the house, the only podcast in the world
That's
to get this guest. This is how exclusive it is. We have the one, the only Ronda Rousey with us. No, Ronda Rousey's with us. Well, Ronda, welcome
Ronda,
to the
it's
show.
good to see you. Oh my God, we do apologize about that very much.
Ronda
about his
Rousey on Ringside Review. That's
right.
Too many R's.
Too many R's, says I.
R's.
There.
It's too many R's, says eyes.
Says eyes. So, Rhonda, let me ask you something. How did you feel when you were pointing at the sign of WrestleMania? Your thoughts?
What is that noise?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my fault there. Anyway, Rhonda, your thoughts.
Is Rhonda whispering? Is that what's going on here?
All she wants to do is point. That's all she's doing is pointing. She's just pointing at things.
She's pointing to the ground.
She's pointing to the ground.
Rhonda.
All right, Rhonda. Thank you. Okay, let's go on.
I actually have a question for Rhonda. Rhonda, what did you mean when you were pointing to that sign? Oh, you know what it is, Seth?
What's wrong?
No one's given her a script to read.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
she doesn't know how to improvise yet.
Oh,
she hasn't gone through that part in her wrestling training. Well, we'll try to work on that with you, Rhonda, because we're apparently the people
to do it for. Yeah, we're the ones. Yeah.
I don't know.
Trust us with people can trust us with kids. Well, not me anymore. Trust us.
So what do you mean anyway? Never mind.
Keep going. No.
Seth,
forget about the communists. What's up?
What was the? It's funny. I even said it a couple of weeks ago.
What's up?
In the world of professional wrestling, there's never like a slow news week. It's always something happening, but this is about as slow as a news week as you'll get in wrestling.
Yeah,
because we're heading into Elimination Chamber.
that's right.
The Rumble's over. The only thing really going on outside of WWE is Cody versus Omega, and that's sort of last week's news. That's not. They haven't really done. They announced when they're going to wrestle.
Yes.
At where are they going to wrestle?
Crap,
something?
why'd you have to ask me?
Because I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Well, I haven't had a chance to watch it. I just know that they are going to be wrestling because. But my thing is, okay, here's the thing. Now, when they leave and they go in their own factions, does that mean Cody Rhodes is going to be on his own factor? Because I do know that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are the elite, and they have contracted to stay together. So I don't know if they're going to have their own factions because you also got the Villain, you also have Hangman Page with them, and others. So who knows?
It's I have to, and this is big for me. I have to applaud the Bullet Club, especially Kenny Omega and Cody, because splitting up the Bullet Club is the smartest thing they could do. It's overdue, actually.
Oh God, it's true. But have you also heard who wants to join the Bullet Club?
Me? No.
Besides you, no, another icon, Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in negotiations with New Japan. It hasn't gone through yet, but he wants to be specifically for Bullet Club.
Why? Why Hogan?
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, is Hogan going to be like, I get total control like I did with the NWO? And it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
He's desperate to be in with the cool guys right now.
Because, well, the Bullet Club is the new NWO. Cool, it's the new, so.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
Anyway, so that's that. That is the biggest news story outside of WWE.
What's the biggest story that's going on in the WWE right now?
The biggest story going on in the WWE right now is just we need to wait. It's like we need to wait on Ronda Rousey. Was that her name?
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. Rowdy Rosie? Rosie Rudel? No, that's the biggest story. It's like what is exactly she going to do at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Do you know this? Do you know what the speculation is right now?
Okay, speculation from what I hear is that she is booked for WrestleMania. She will be wrestling. They just don't.
I would hope so after all that stupid sign pointing.
Yeah, but what they don't know is how they're going to do it. Now, the safe bet would be to protect her and the investments and everything.
Well,
let her be in a tag match.
A rhetorical question. I was going to ask you if you've heard.
What?
Well,
from what I heard, there's two things. They want to do a tag mix match. It's like her and maybe The Rock, but apparently there's some legal actions going on with The Rock for insurance purposes. Because last time he went to WrestleMania, he was injured and he had to postpone the movie he was doing for a while.
Yeah, that's the big heavy rumor is that her and The Rock are going to face Triple H and Stephanie.
But then again,
and it mixed tag. Basically because she's undertrained as far as wrestling goes.
But then again, there's also the whole thing with it happened at Survivor Series with Triple H and Kurt Angle. Like we could see Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey team up against Triple H and Stephanie.
I don't know. Stephanie's gonna be involved in a match.
Yes,
we can almost.
It's guaranteed.
We can almost guarantee that because of the way she's been working out.
Yeah.
She's been trying to get in ring shape. I should be putting up pictures. I don't think I have anything of Stephanie. No, she's been getting into ring shape, and that's been well documented. The other, aside from the mixed tag match, the other speculation has been that she will go one-on-one with Asuka and break her
but
streak.
After Raw tonight, I can tell you that will not happen. They have already confirmed that match.
Oh, Asuka and
Kurt Angle apparently
and Bliss.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because this was it. Well, one of the matches tonight.
This is a Ringside Review exclusive.
Ringside Review, but it was also on Raw, and Kurt Angle pretty much said it during his cutting his promo in the ring when about Nia Jax and Asuka.
It would have been so much more interesting if she would have chose Charlotte.
We all wanted Charlotte. That would have been a better storyline. That would have been a better wrestling match overall. But they go where the cash goes, and I guess it'd be a better draw if she goes on her own. Ronda does against Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, well.
So there you go. Not only that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust.
Okay,
I'm just
you
doing,
do that
I'm doing
right
a
there.
really terrible job at it.
Yes, and not only that, what's been really bugging me recently about this whole Ronda Rousey situation, it's just they put so much time and effort and money into this, and then of course, like any other production, they rush it at the last second, and then you're stuck with the final product. Whether it's a franchise of a movie series or whether it's just sports or something. Just
with Ronda, they had to move fast.
Yeah.
Because word was starting to get out. And plus, it's WrestleMania season, and the WWE feel like they have to do everything they can. Rhonda, would you like to comment since we do have Rhonda with us? Rhonda,
do you have anything to say on your behalf? Nope. Staring point.
She's just staring. She's staring. Are you nervous over there? Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to our next news story. Seth, did you watch Raw tonight?
I actually watched Raw tonight.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I feel kind of appreciated myself. I feel like I accomplished something in my life.
But you didn't.
But I didn't. No, I didn't. I watched Raw, so you guys didn't have to.
So a couple of things I'm just going to point out really quick for Raw is the women's Elimination Chamber, which, by the way,
been set.
Did you catch where Kurt Angle forgot the name of the Elimination Chamber?
Oh, God, yes. It was so beautiful. It was so perfect.
He goes, these women are going to be competing in a...
And he just looks... folks, it's a good 5 seconds. And 5 seconds go by slowly when you don't know what's going on or what's happening.
And it just sort of just stopped. His whole brain kind of just stopped.
And he smiles. Oh, yeah, the Elimination Chamber. That's what I wanted to say.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, God, Kurt. Oh, man, I wish I could have been backstage just hearing Vince over the headset going, Jesus Christ, what the hell, Kurt?
Yeah, I don't see a long future for Kurt.
I don't either. As
far as being the GM goes, because he's not a great talker. I mean, he is sometimes when he's being goofy.
Oh, yeah, but it's scripted.
But it's like he's doing this whole thing. He can't be goofy. So.
No, he can't. He proved that when he joined the Shield at TLC. That was goofy.
Yeah, it was more like he's not the same guy he used to be.
Oh, he's not Mr. Intensity. No, he's not.
He's not even like the jerk heel he was with the mouth guard and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna beat people up. I'm a wrestling machine. And he's not the goofball either. I mean, not the funny goofball. He's kind of just like
sarcastic. Yeah, he's just
happy to be here, goofball.
Yeah. He's trying to be cool. He's trying to be cool in front of his kids' friends. That's what he is.
That'll all be us one day.
What do you mean one day?
So
it's already happening.
The participants are Bailey.
That's right.
Sasha Banks, as Kurt Angle calls the boss.
The boss.
She's not legit anymore.
No kidding. She's just the boss.
Of course, it's what's her name defending
Alexa Bliss is the champion. Then what you have your two members from Mickey James, the two members from Absolution, Sonya Deville, and Amber Rose, and then Sasha Banks.
Is it Amber Rose?
Mm-hmm. Mandy Rose. I'm sorry, Amber Rose. Mandy Rose. Thank you, Mandy Rose. Yes. And Sonya Deville.
So, where's Nia Jax in all this? Is what I'm wondering.
Well, a lot of people were started booing after when they revealed the final one with Sasha Banks, and it was like, wait on. They're like, he's like, hold on. I know you know that you don't see. He's like, I know you noticed Nia Jax isn't on the screen. Well, I have news for you. She will be in a match against Asuka at Elimination Chamber, and then everybody's like, well, big deal. Okay, what's the catch? And he's like, since Asuka has already been promised her match against Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania, Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for telling the WWE
They
universe
just sort of
that.
slid that in.
Yeah,
Okay.
slip that in. You know, it's not
Okay.
her choosing. Like, if Nia Jax, here's the stipulation: if Nia Jax wins her singles match against Asuka at Elimination Chamber, she is the third participant in a triple threat women's
God,
title.
Why?
Because they can't write for shit. They can't. They have some of the worst writers, and they're just playing it by ear. Their main focus is only 4 things right now: John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. That's it.
I don't like how. Yeah, I don't like any of that.
I don't either, but that's just how they are. It's just
I
how,
don't
that's
like any of that. Next.
Yep.
Next.
And it really
Don't
sucks
like
because
any
these
of
women are
that.
busting their ass for this. It's just that they're just getting the bad end of the ugly stick, man, which is the worst part. Let's see. Well, first
you
off,
want-
it opens up with a
Well, I was going to say, do we want to congratulate our good friend Rockstar Spud?
Oh,
be-
that's right.
For becoming the new 205 Live general manager.
Yes. His name Maverick. What was his name?
Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick. And when I
Which is a
saw this, I
terrible
was
name.
like this.
It's a terrible
Who?
name.
No offense. I was just like,
Yeah.
who? Was he on?
I mean, granted, it's a step up from Rockstar Spud as far as
Yeah, it is.
names go, but oof.
But was he on? Was he part of the United Kingdom? Like a tournament or?
Well, no, he just came straight over from TNA.
Oh, okay. Well, no wonder he didn't know who he was. Sorry, I watch Quality Wrestling. I do watch wrestling, folks, but it's just that TNA is just so hard to
what's
find.
funny is TNA gets like so little ratings, right?
Yeah, but
But they keep taking WWE keeps taking wrestlers from there. It's really kind of just
E3's there. He'll be there soon at NXT. I just want to see what they want to do with Bobby Lashley.
yeah. I have more on Bobby Lashley later, but
You do? Okay, cool. Because I think what everybody wants to see, and of course the WWE universe does, is they want to see Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
so yeah, Drake Maverick. Hopefully he makes things interesting. They're going to have a tournament, a 16-man tournament to determine a new cruiserweight champion.
And you won't find out.
What happened to the old cruiserweight champion.
Oh yeah, he got fired for rape for not telling his boss about it.
No, that's not completely true.
Well, whatever. The point is, I'm glad Enzo's gone. No offense. He wasn't a good wrestler. He was a good commentator. I ain't gonna lie. He was great on the mic, but just other than that, he would single himself out, alienate himself from the locker room. He had, from the tour bus, hotels. You don't need that type of,
So anyway,
attitude in the WWE.
it was pointed out that there's only 14 men on the cruiserweight roster right now, so they're going to have to bring in 2 mystery participants, and the heavy speculation is Rey Mysterio.
Oh, okay, yeah, Rey Mysterio
is going to be one of them.
Yeah,
which he should probably win the whole thing.
I think he should. He looks great, man.
No, he should get to the finals and then get screwed out of it, and then have a rematch at WrestleMania.
Oh,
There, it's easy booking.
no, but the thing is, the tournament lasts until WrestleMania when it's the final 2.
Oh, does it?
Yes, and they wrestle at WrestleMania. They will crown a new. He said, "We will crown a new champion, cruiserweight champion at
missing out.
WrestleMania."
They need to have it right before, screw Mysterio out, and then have Mysterio get a rematch at WrestleMania. That way, you've built up a story.
He'll win it at WrestleMania.
people-
Either that or
people care.
maybe Pete Dunne.
I don't know, probably.
I think he's the other one. I'm a
need to
Pete Dunne
bring
fan.
him
I like
in,
Pete. I like Pete Dunne.
You know,
He's amazing. Or Neville could come back.
but the singer Adrian.
Yes,
Aaron
yes,
Neville,
the singer Adrian. Yes, Rey Mysterio. You go down.
Probably what the big news story this week has to be Booker T going on his podcast and telling everybody if he basically told Corey Graves to cash him outside.
Yeah, a lot of bad blood.
A lot of legit heat there. You know, listen, Booker. Booker T, from what I know about him, just stories I've known, just from the wrestlers I've come in contact with, probably one of the nicest guys in wrestling. And he even admits that he's a nice guy until you get on his bad side.
Well, that's what he said. He
you
says
know,
that when you mess with my green, then you're going to see me be mean.
You know,
So.
Booker, you have to admit some things you say on that mic aren't exactly who am I to talk? Aren't exactly the most comprehensive.
But that's what, and I agree.
And I loved that.
And I agree with you on that. But that's what makes
him.
it great. It was like three guys laughing at inside jokes, having a great time, and just going on with the match. But now with Jonathan Coachman back, which I'm glad he's back, it's just, it's back to business. It's mundane. It's boring. It's repetitive. There's nothing going on with these three.
See, this is the WWE's problem. They don't know a good thing
when they see it. Yeah, you're right.
They should have kept those. They should have been poking the bear more.
Yeah.
Instead of they're like, oh no, we were afraid you're going to kill Corey Graves. That's why we're taking you off Raw. It's like, no, that'd be good television.
That'd be great television right there.
They're so afraid of lawsuits, and
it would have given the announcers more than just we're just announcers. It would have given them a story on Raw. You would have had something going on.
I don't think they want another Mauro Ronaldo situation.
Well, not only that, or just story-wise, another JR Michael Cole. Yeah. When Jerry was there, Jerry the King Lawler was there to help out.
So Matt Hardy, the other big news story, Matt Hardy officially owns the Broken gimmick.
The Broken Universe. He owns the Broken Universe.
Is that a big deal at this point? I mean, he's already woken. He's already doing the
He's
gimmick.
Woken, but now he gets to do all that he wants. The reason why he was only Woken Hardy.
So what is the other stuff? Is it just like the drones and the
compound, the drones, Benjamin, the wife, his child, brother Nero.
He couldn't put his own wife up on TV. That doesn't make any sense.
Because what happened was by law, it was a TNA production. And it was their likeness. It was their likeness. So they had to go with that. Now that he owns it all, it's his story. It's his franchise. He can do whatever he wants. And they said in the future, you will see the Hardy compound. You will see the drones. You will see storylines of him and Brother Nero.
Honestly, it's just Matt Hardy's house. Who cares?
The fans care, man. I know you don't. It's just that it was a great gimmick, and now, and you saw it. You saw the final deletion, and you said it was one of the greatest things you've ever seen. I mean, it was whack, and it was crazy, and it was, but it was just.
I heard. Well, you're probably mixing things up. Typical stuff.
It was either you or your brother.
It was from a friend of mine that's a non-wrestling fan that watched it, and he said it was one of the greatest things he'd ever seen. Wrestling or not, and that was just because it's how crazy and funny.
It was
the final and just intense and whatever the final deletion was. Just absolute nuts.
I think it's crazy. Let Matt Hardy do what he wants to do. Jeff Hardy, Vince has already got plans for Jeff Hardy when he comes back. He wants him to have another championship run. He's always liked Jeff Hardy.
I thought he was going to be the new Sister Abigail.
Who?
No, nothing.
Matt? No, that's going to be Bray Wyatt. We might actually see that soon.
Explain to me something. This Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. This is the second year they've done this, I believe.
Yeah.
Why Dusty Rhodes? I don't get that. I mean, it seems to me like they're so desperate to name something after Dusty Rhodes. They're like,
because of the tag team finish. And Dusty Rhodes, guess what?
No, Dusty Rhodes, but that's Dusty Rhodes finish, but that has nothing to do with tag teams.
I know. Nobody wins. It's just like, I don't understand either.
Yeah, anyway, what I'm trying to say is I think WWE... It's really lame. WWE so desperate to name something after Dusty that they decide to stick his name a tag team. Really, I mean, a lot of other things would make more sense, like Legion of Doom,
Dudley's.
Yeah, so I don't because
didn't Dusty start out?
Dusty's early career was a tag team
with Lance Murdoch, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was him and Lance Murdoch, and they became the NWA champions.
I don't know. It's weird. I would rather have them do. Here's what I would do. I'd have them bring back King of the Ring.
Oh God, we all want that back.
But have it just in NXT. Why not? It's something the WWE owns the rights to. They're not using. Just have it for NXT, and then make it the Dusty Rhodes King of the Ring tournament.
Okay.
Because he worked a lot in NXT toward the end, and that NXT was something special to him. and it would be like not even King of the Ring, just a Dusty Rhodes tournament, and that could be another accolade. That they have. Be like
another
NXT champion,
takeover.
NXT tag team champion, Dusty Rhodes Classic winner. Whatever.
It could be the whole pay-per-view, or for a later NXT takeover.
I don't know. I like the idea they did.
I love
they
tournaments.
tried to do a couple of years ago with the King of the Ring being a network exclusive, and then something happened.
Sheamus won. Nobody was just showing.
No, King Barrett.
King Barrett, yeah.
And I forget the reason why they pulled it off the network, because it didn't because they kept giving out free months at that time. Like, remember, you can.
That's right.
And then it was like, and everybody was just watching it for free anyway. So there was no point in having this.
They'd watch. They'd order it. They'd get a month for free. They'd watch the pay-per-view, and then they would unsubscribe, and then they would do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sinners.
So yeah, do you know what? Is it just? Are they inviting teams from other that aren't in NXT right now?
I don't know about that, but it would make
I don't know anything about this.
Neither do I. It just started. They just started talking about this. I'd like to see Sanity. I'd like to see Authors of Pain. But I'd also like to see other tag teams from New Japan, an open thing, or Ring of Honor would be great.
Yeah, just some indie guys.
Indie guys showing up. This would be a great opportunity for Triple H, because now pretty much he holds the company, and since it's NXT and he likes using younger guys, this would be a chance to open up hey, Young Bucks, why don't you come over here and start,
No, that's okay. They don't have to.
Oh, you don't like the Young Bucks. I forget. You're just not
they
into
suck.
it.
Hey, Seth, I wanted to talk to you about who made their debut last week in NXT. Ricochet.
Ricochet did. That's right.
The flippy guy.
The flippy guy. Who's also King Puma.
Did you see his finisher? It's this ridiculous 720 spin that just he lands. It's I think it's I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's like a swanton, but he flips a bunch of times.
What happens? I've seen him do it before, but he didn't do it as Ricochet. He was also in Lucha Underground. He was King Puma in Lucha Underground. That was his finisher.
It's crazy. It looks great.
It looks amazing. Ricochet. I would already want to put him on the main roster. He's been in the indie circuit for so long. He's got credibility. He's a fast-paced wrestler. He's just amazing. I could see him as a cruiserweight champion in the future. IC champ, maybe.
Yeah, the cruiserweight's such a funny thing because, it seems like
it's the same 7 people. We need more.
Well, no, it just seems like the way Vince has always looked toward cruiserweights, it was like they had a stigma on them afterwards. I'm sure that if Daniel Bryan had been named a cruiserweight champion earlier on, he would have never got that world title.
He would have never gotten that world title.
Just because Vince doesn't think that little guys are marketable. Or
but then again, look at Chris Jericho. Yeah. But he's 1 in a million.
Yeah. So, Seth, tell us what happened on Raw tonight.
Well, Raw was in Des Moines, Iowa tonight.
Knock at the door. Sorry.
My generation. Okay. The qualifying match for men's.
I can't even tell you what the song is now. Do you know what the song is now? I don't even watch.
Union Underground was the name of the band, because that was our friend Chris's favorite, Boz's favorite. Oh, now it's I don't know. Exactly. It's some type of musical montage, a generic montage. Yeah. I'd take Nickelback any day. You take that back.
Look at this photograph.
Look at this photograph. Okay.
Typically this would be the point where I'd set up our tweet spot with a song, and I'd probably set up Nickelback photograph, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you want to though? It's in there. But Raw in Des Moines.
I'm sure I would think it was funny, but
I think it'd be hilarious.
People would tune out for that.
So you mean the one person, you, or on your phone, or me on my phone? Anyway,
I'm not watching. Go ahead.
Okay. Raw is in Des Moines, Iowa tonight.
Sorry.
Qualifying match for And We Dance the Night Away. Okay, now see, you're starting, Mike. Who cares? Let's go. Here we go. Qualifying match for the men's elimination chamber was Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. Spoiler alert, Bray Wyatt doesn't win this one, folks. They're also naming all the women's competitors for the Women's Elimination Chamber, which is going to be happening at the same night as the pay-per-view. Opening segment, Bray Wyatt shoots on Roman Reigns and says he will win the Elimination Chamber. Right. Anyway, now Roman Reigns shoots on Bray Wyatt, and this is pre-taped. You can tell because this looks like a new type of formula. It's pre-taped and everything with shoots going on.
Yeah, they were talking about, they called it the selfie kind of, whatever.
Yeah, tape shoots, but it's like, well, at least Roman Reigns is making sense now. Because it's like, okay, you have sentences. I like this. Keep going, Roman.
You know what we missed? We didn't even mention?
What?
A couple of weeks ago, it was the anniversary. It was like the 4th anniversary or something like that of the Suffer and Succotash promo. Do you remember that? When Roman Reigns was talking to Sheamus and he said Suffer and Succotash, and it was so lame.
Oh God, I remember that. Oh Jesus, I'm trying to get that out of my head. Thanks for the
Go
cringe.
ahead. What happened next?
Thank you. Me cringing. Now, okay, new formula. Roman Reigns is making sense now, and then we go straight to the match. They go straight to the match after that. The qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber for the 4th. Yeah, they've already got 3 for the 4th competitor, Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. And, of course, commentators tonight were Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Jonathan Coachman. I miss Booker T still. See, we already talked about how it's lame, it's quiet, the professional atmosphere is dry, they don't have any jokes. Okay, then they cut to Matt Hardy backstage while the match is going on. Matt Hardy has a new T-shirt. It's like an insane circle, you know, it just says delete, delete, delete. Looks pretty good. Roman...
Not as good as my new Finn Balor shirt.
No, you show him your Finn Balor shirt.
I already did. Good. It's already been on camera.
Roman Reigns wins via pinfall with the spear over Bray Wyatt. So now we have 4 men qualified for the Elimination Chamber.
Did not Matt Hardy interfere?
Oh, I'm about to say that here. This is Roman Reigns,
he helped
Elias.
Roman win, right?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
it was a clean win. It was a clean win. Roman Reigns, Elias, John Cena, and Braun Strowman. After they come back from the commentators, Matt Hardy appears in the ring behind Bray Wyatt, puts him in a twisted fate, and deletes him. Finishes him off. And then does his delete, and it goes to commercial. Next, we have a backstage promo going on between Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. They're getting ready for another opportunity for the tag team titles again, hopefully for the last time. Don't ask me how they got this opportunity for a tag team championship match.
I think everyone's pretty much sick of this.
Yes. So now we have
Can we get some more tag teams?
Please do. I want Authors of Pain to be in there so bad, or Sanity. Anyway,
I didn't know it was this much of a problem, but
for tag teams, somebody get Teddy Long, man. We need tag teams
because it's just Heath Slater and Rhino, and then the 2 tag teams we saw tonight.
That's it, yeah. So so now we also have a triple threat match between the Elimination Chamber competitors, and whoever wins it will be the last in the Elimination Chamber to compete.
Are you serious?
Yes. It was the the last main event was John Cena versus Braun Strowman versus Elias in a triple threat match. And the winner of that match will get to be the last competitor.
The 6-man in.
Yeah.
I hate that. I knew they wrestled tonight.
Yeah. That's what.
But I didn't realize that's what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. It's always much more fun when it's a surprise. I hate it when they do this with the Royal Rumble. And
like the winner gets the number 30?
The 30 spot. It's like, first of all, they're not going to win.
No.
And secondly, after 29, the part of the fun, God, this pisses me off. Part of the fun of seeing who the next person is going to be
is when the lights are going
back
exactly.
And forth. It's like, and it's like, if you know, look, if it's going to come down to between, spoiler, who won?
Elias won. Yeah, Elias won that match.
So let's say it comes down to Elias and John Cena are the last 2.
Oh wow, we know who's going to win this.
You know it's going to be John Cena, and then it's going to be Elias. So we're going to have to sit through 2 that we know how it pisses me off.
Yeah,
pisses me off in the Rumble. It pisses me off more in the Elimination Chamber because there's fewer participants.
Yes.
And it's such a dumb concept, too. I don't know.
That's Vince
shame
for you,
on you, WWE. Bad job.
Shame. For shame. Shame.
What a shitty thing to do.
It is a shitty thing to do. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, I heard this from another podcast. You know what would have been great for the number 30? Is that the 2 from number 28 and 29 eliminated each other? and there's nobody in the ring, and then number 30 walks in. They've never done that.
Well, Seth, are you referring to the men's rumble
Men's
or the
Rumble.
women's rumble?
Men's Rumble.
Because you have to clarify now.
That's right, the Men's Rumble now, yes. But anyway, going back to this, I'm sorry about that, Mike, but it's true. I'm pissed off as well. It takes away the fun. Takes away the randomness of what's going to happen that night. So let's see. Then we go back.
As if we're going to see Elias versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh God, I would pay $1 million. I would pay $1 million to see that. I'm not lying either. I would love to see that.
We're not going to see that.
You don't know that.
No, I will. If someone is willing to put up $1 million for me to bet that, I would bet $1 million that Elias is not going to face
that's the one
Brock
guy who betted on the Eagles. There you go. He's got money now. Let's see. Okay, then back from commercial break, we got Balor Club walking down to the ring, and then the Revival arrives for singles competition. But now they said that they are tag team specialists, so they wanted to make it a tag team match.
I thought that was weird and awkward and
Same
also
here.
stupid.
Yes, so it's an impromptu tag team match.
The reason it's stupid, and they've been doing this a lot lately, where like guys been making their own matches, which makes
no sense. Referee, okay, it kind of does because he's the only authority there, somewhat. But of course, it's up to the GM. It's up to Kurt Angle or Stephanie McMahon. You know. But it's just, come on.
They have two authority figures. Why can't they use them?
No kidding.
You know.
But it's Carl Anderson. He steps up. And Finn Balor versus the Revival. Well, Finn Balor wins with the coup de grace and the pin. And it's a win for the Balor Club. On to the next match.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you had rather seen Finn Balor squash one half of the Revival, or were you happier seeing a tag team match?
I would have been happier with just Finn Balor, or if it's or this, it's a real tag team, like a tag team, hence the name tag team. Okay, get Gallows and Anderson.
Well,
the tag team.
We saw that a couple of weeks ago. Plus, we have Balor, and people want to see Balor.
They do want to see Balor. Yeah. We do. Damn it.
Anyway, you know what I hope this builds up to.
I hope.
I hope that the Revival find a third man and we just see a 6-man, tag team match. Maybe Elias, maybe who knows?
I could see that.
Elias is in this.
Yeah.
He's in this main event program right now.
Kurt Angle reveals the competitors in the first ever women's elimination chamber match and has a brain fart. It was really great, really awesome. He didn't know where he was like for a good 5 to 6 seconds, and he remembers, oh yeah, the women's elimination chamber. Names them all. And, of course, we told you earlier in the program that Nia Jax was not involved in it, but she is promised a match against Asuka, even though Asuka is already promised a championship match against Alexa Bliss via Kurt Angle telling us this.
For you. The Women's Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
Have they had a 6-woman tag team match at Elimination Chamber before? That's a lot to remember. Because I keep looking this up.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to find images. And apparently it's been done before, I think.
What, a women's elimination?
No. There's been 6 women wrestling at Elimination Chamber, but they just weren't in the chamber match or something like that. I don't know. I've already spent way too much time thinking about this. It's just.
Well, anyway, and they talk about, that Nia Jax, if she beats Asuka, because Asuka's already promised her match for the championship at WrestleMania against Alexa Bliss. If Alexa does keep the title, successfully defends it in the Elimination Chamber, she will be the 3rd participant.
Well, it's like I said, they're booking this all wrong. They shouldn't have got Asuka to the title this fast. And it's classic WWE booking.
It is.
Because they rush
everything.
Rush the new person in too fast. It's what happened with Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
When he was introduced, like the night after WrestleMania or whatever, and then by SummerSlam he had defeated The Rock for the world title. And just like with Ryback, where he got pushed to the main event, and it's very similar with his situation. It's like whoever's hot, and then women, poor women. It's like I remember at one point, I think it was in 2011, something like that, where it was like almost 2/3 of the women on the roster had been champion at one point.
Yeah,
and that's just like, what does that tell you?
Nothing. Because they didn't care.
They just hand it to to the
To the next
person that's
person
hot at
who's
the
hot right
moment.
now.
You know?
Yeah.
So, they really should have held off on Asuka. They should have had her. They should have had her undefeated streak be the real story.
Be
You
the
know?
real story and let that happen at SummerSlam, or at least it needs braces, or maybe Money in the Bank.
And just let it go as long. And then you could do one of two things. You could have her lose her streak, and then she has to build up her confidence, then go after the title. Then she has a story with the title, or just have on a week to week, month to month thing where it's like, oh, this is going to be the week that she loses, you know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking her and possibly Ronda would be good at WrestleMania, just non-title, and just be like,
It's about pride. It's
who's
about
going to win? The one with the undefeated streak, or the one who's getting pushed to the moon? Ronda Rousey right now, the female Brock Lesnar. Something's got to give.
Oh, and speaking of which, since you said that female Brock Lesnar, it has been. It's most likely Paul Heyman has given his concern, but also his
Concerned.
Not his concern. Paul Heyman has given his not blessing, but like his like recommendation to let Ronda Rousey be his first Paul Heyman girl.
I think I understood what you're trying to say there.
Yeah.
So let me give you the cliff notes of what I think you were trying. By the way, there's this mysterious thing in the background.
There you go.
I don't know what that giant hand was. Ronda, watch out! What I think you were trying to say is possibly Paul Heyman's going to manage
Ronda Rousey.
That's what you were trying.
Yes.
To say. Okay.
Ronda Rousey. Yes.
I get confused by you sometimes.
I know.
so
I do
don't
too.
know.
Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror.
All right. So what else happened on Raw? Anything else?
After that, let's see. We have a tag team match going on with the cruiserweights. It's let's see. Yeah, Ali Mustafa and Cedric Alexander versus Tony Needy and Drew Gulak. Team face goes over. Next, apparently they were talking about there's a tournament going on, and they'll crown a new champion, cruiserweight champion, at WrestleMania. It's a good way to getting people to actually watch 205. Next is let's see. Okay, John Cena. Oh, so after we hear that Kurt Angle tells Alexa Bliss she has to defend her title, she goes on a rant on Kurt Angle saying that he's sexist because
Alexa Bliss did this.
Alexa Bliss did this because she says Brock Lesnar doesn't have to defend his championship ever, you know, on a lot of pay-per-views, and he just shows up and he wins. Yet I'm here all the time.
No, Alexa Bliss might get in trouble for using logic. I don't know.
Yeah, right? And then Kurt Angle's like, if you're trying to turn this around on me, I'm not the one. Brock Lesnar defended his title successfully at Royal Rumble. And she's like, oh, one pay-per-view. That's, you know, it's just like, whoa. And everybody in the audience is like, wow. Just like, this is getting good. This is actually a good story I'd like to see more of. So she says it out loud. She's accusing Kurt Angle being sexist. So it's like, okay, we're going with politics on this one. Later on, I'll tell you about what happens with Alexa Bliss. But that's just how it starts off. Goes to commercial. We come back. John Cena is doing a backstage promo on his phone. Then we get to see another qualifying Elimination Chamber match. We see The Miz versus Apollo Crews. The Miz wins that one. And then we cut to Asuka versus Bayley.
I can't believe The Miz beat Apollo Crews.
I know, right? Asuka versus Bayley. And the winner, of course, by submission, Asuka. She won. It was a good match. It was almost as good as the Sasha Banks one from last week, but just a little bit more down. But still, a good match. And then, at a sign of good sportsmanship, Asuka actually goes and shakes Bayley's hand, and Bayley shakes her hand. You know, it's like, okay, you know, that's awesome. Next scene we see is now the Bars talking and how they're going to beat Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan again, which I have to agree with. So after that, we see. Let me see. Oh yeah. Backstage, we have a moment backstage where Seth Rollins is going to the ring. He sees Jason Jordan with the medical team, and they are not clearing Jason Jordan to wrestle, which means Seth Rollins will have to forfeit. But
this was funny because as soon as they said that, there was some website reporting that Jason Jordan was going to be out a year
Mm-hmm.
for neck surgery, and it was like, and then he comes and he gets involved in the match. I was like, well, that's obviously true.
Well, he didn't take a bump. He just, hit him. He just hit,
but
forward on hand.
have you
But-
heard anything else? Speculation that he's
Okay,
he's
what
really
I've also
hurt?
heard is that his neck has been hurting a lot. He can't feel his fingertips sometime.
Well, he's Kurt Angle's son, so he's been wrestling. Well, he's been wrestling with a broken freaking neck.
Broken free and won the gold medal, mind you. But Jason Jordan, they're not claiming, which means Seth Rollins we're going to have to forfeit. But as the camera pans away, Roman Reigns is right there next to him with his fellow Shield brother. He looks at Seth Rollins looks at Kurt Angle for the approval, and Kurt Angle just nods like, "Go for it," And then the two,
Who is he? Stallone from Over the Top?
pretty much over the top. Yeah,
Go
it's like, "Go
for
for it," like. He just smiles at him, nods at him
All
with
right.
approval.
So anything else happened? I know that match, and then Jason Jordan cost them the match. How did he? How did
the
he do
Shield
that?
versus the Bar. Good spots, good match. Jason Jordan shows up in the middle of it, and and he is the reason why the Shield have been disqualified because he was not part of the match. But he hit Cesaro.
What was the reason he was
He
down
was
there?
out. He was outside of the ring, giving moral support to Seth Rollins.
Okay.
And then he's not a participant. Roman Reigns took his spot. So when the champions tried to leave with their belts, like, we don't want this anymore, he got in front of like, no, you need to get back in their ring right now. And then one of them charged him. He blocked and hit him. That's a disqualification. So the Bar is once again defended their tag team titles, successfully.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that's Raw.
No, we got more, dude. Seth Rollins is chewing out Jason Jordan because it's all his fault, all that stuff. So which means to now set the stage. If Jason Jordan doesn't need neck surgery, Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Let's see. Oh, here it is right here. Next match. Okay, this is the Nia Jax comes out and she has a squash match against a local talent. Squash match against
Squash.
Yeah,
She
squash
wrestles
match.
Sasquatch.
Yes, a squash match against local talent. She beats her, no problem. Then Renee Young asks her, "How do you feel about the Asuka match?" And she goes, "She's the Empress of tomorrow, but she's going to be the Empress of yesterday when I get done with her." So on.
You know what would have been better if she would have said she's more like she's the Empress of these nuts.
Oh, that would have been great.
Like if she would have
Next,
said
we
that,
have-
that would have been great.
We have Absolution, Sonya Deville versus Mickey James. Mickey James actually wins with a rollover.
Paige at ringside,
Yeah, Paige ringside rollover pin.
collecting that paycheck.
That's right. Absolution jumps Mickey James, and of all people, the
Alexa
WWE
Bliss.
Women's
Yep.
Champion Alexa Bliss comes in for the rescue
A lot of people are
successfully.
confused about this.
Yes, and then so is Mickey James. She's just
Including
looking
me.
at her like,
It's interesting.
I like this. So
see
I
where
think
this
they're pushing her
goes.
face.
So
Or
anyway,
well, then after that, then we are heard that there's going to be a
pretty
fatal
face.
four-way winner, second chance fatal four-way. Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Woken Hardy, and Apollo Crews. And the winner of that will get the
Yes.
final spot.
this is great. So, you gotta okay. So, I hope.
What two of those
Let's just break it down. Let's start with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I hope those two don't win so that they can have a one-on-one match at Elimination Chamber. Whether it's no DQ, which of course means no Dairy Queen for either man, or just a regular rematch, or maybe Sister Abigail. I don't know.
See, that's what I'm worried. That's what I wanted to see. But the thing is, I think what's going to happen is these two already have a storyline. That cancels them out. They're going to have a match.
So-
They're going to have a match, and it's going to be a no contest.
So, and then you got Apollo Crews, which hold on a second. Are there any other black participants in Elimination Chamber? That gives him something.
For the demographic, and it
And
sucks for
plus
saying that. For
it's
saying
Black History
Black
Month.
History
you
Month.
know, I mean,
and it's a demographic.
and look, the only
hate
reason I say it is because I know the way WWE thinks.
an old man, Vince McMahon, how
and-
he thinks.
And as far as marketing goes, it's not a bad idea to have more diversity in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very interesting. But I would think it'd be Finn Balor,
Yeah.
and our dream of having Nakamura versus Styles and Balor versus Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
It's close.
I hope it happens.
We're halfway there.
Ugh.
We just need to get the other
Yeah.
half done. So anyway, we're running low on time.
Okay.
So just fast forward to tonight. Elias wins.
Elias wins
And
at
he
the main
becomes-
event. Yeah, and
he gets
Elias
to
is
be
going to
the
be our
sixth
last
slot.
person. And then Braun Strowman gets mad. He destroys John Cena and Elias, and he cleans house. And that's the end.
There you go. Overall, what did you think of this Monday Night Raw?
I give it a 7.
7 out of 100.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go on and do Seth's favorite part of the show, which of course is the tweet spot, which I will unmute after it's done.
Please unmute.
So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just do that tweet spot real quick.
Go for it.
So we've been on this whole time.
Okay.
Well, honestly,
We're back on, guys. Here we are.
I'm sorry about that. I think we were gone for 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Like, how can I even during the live,
You know what? Let's keep going, man. We got this going.
I'd like to repeat the on this day.
Let's repeat. On this day, I see clearly.
I feel so shitty now.
Hey, don't worry about it. Jennifer, thank you.
This is partly your fault because you didn't remind me.
No, you said it right after the tweet. I will have the mics back on, which means I give you total faith, Mike.
Never again am I turning the mics off. I'm leaving them on.
Leave them on from now on. We're going live. We're doing it live.
Whatever horrible thing we say is just going to get picked up.
It's just going to get picked up on there.
30 days.
Make it real.
30 years ago to this day, the main event from WWF premiered, featuring the rematch from WrestleMania 3 of Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. The reason this is such a big deal is that 33 million people tuned in to watch, making it the most viewed wrestling program in history. 24 years ago today, ECW presented the best named pay-per-view ever. The night the line was crossed.
The night the line was crossed.
Which featured Terry Funk versus Sabu versus Shane Douglas, which was the main event, which ended in a 1 hour time limit draw.
They beat the shit out of me for about an hour.
17 years ago today, Rick Steiner defeated Shane Douglas for the U.S. title on Nitro. 16 years ago, our boy Maven on a SmackDown defeated Undertaker for the Hardcore title. 10 years ago today, remember I was talking about Bobby Lashley earlier.
Yeah.
I had something. 10 years ago today, Bobby Lashley announced his release from WWE. It has officially been 10 years since Bobby Lashley was in the WWE.
Oh, dude, then he has to come back. It's on an anniversary.
So that's 10 years of that. 10 years ago today, also in WWE, taping of ECW, CM Punk defeated Chavo Guerrero in a Gulf of Mexico rules match. Whatever that is.
I don't know.
7 years ago today on TNA Live, which I don't know if it was like a TNA Live event or what it was, but Devon defeated Bully Ray in a tables match with Mick Foley as referee. This is great. This is classic TNA booking where do you really need a special referee for a tables match? I mean, what's Mick going to do? Go, I don't know. I don't think you put him through the table hard enough. What do you need? 5 years ago today, on a taping of Main Event, WWE Main Event. You were Main Event? Main Event was a show.
WWE Main Event, yeah.
Back in, I think, 2012, they tried to bring back Main Event. It was like an hour-long program. It started out with just 2 matches.
That's on a Sunday, right?
No, it was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night? Okay.
And they started out with like some really like good matches with like top name stars like Sheamus versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then, had these like top-tier talent, and then just quickly...
It just went away.
So this is during the time where it started to dwindle. But one of my favorite moments in wrestling history ever happened 5 years ago today.
What was it?
It was a match. It was a promo between Cameron and Naomi, which of course were the Funkadactyls.
Yeah.
They were tagging up against Oksana and Tamina, and this was the infamous promo where Oksana called, I believe it was Cameron, Kofi. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She goes, okay, Kofi, or something like that. And she goes, Kofi? Who you call Kofi? Which was one of the one of the worst, one of the best,
worst.
No, what is the word I'm looking for? Subtle racist things ever. It was really subtle racism.
Subtle racism, right there. That was, I think, that went through the boards.
So that is all that has happened.
That is amazing.
And okay, Kofi.
Okay, Kofi. Yeah, Kofi. Oh God, here it comes.
So, not that many people.
Oh, so you didn't
had a birthday today, but we did have one special wrestler because we like to do the birthdays.
Eugene.
As well. No, Madison Rayne from TNA.
Yeah, Madison Rayne, yeah,
former TNA women's champion. Beautiful.
The knockouts on TNA, they're amazing.
Happy birthday to Madison Rayne. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday,
today.
Maddie.
Okay, we were talking.
Oh, we were talking? Did our audience hear us?
No. We talking and it was on mute. No, we discussed it earlier today. We're going to announce who is Mr. Elimination Chamber. Now, before on the show, and of course, Seth, as you know,
Yes, sir.
whenever we say something, it becomes official.
That's right.
Like
Becomes canon.
Mr. SummerSlam, we declared was Brock Lesnar.
Mr. Royal Rumble.
Mr. Royal Rumble was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who. Did we do one for Survivor Series?
The
No,
team.
we did Best Team.
Best team, and it was
Which
the
was the Warriors. It was the
Warriors.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Warriors.
the ultimate. Yeah, well, the Warriors.
We need to go next year for this coming up. We need to do a Mr. Survivor Series. I think.
Okay.
We already did Best Team Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll do Mr. Okay, so this we're gonna name Mr. Elimination Chamber. Without saying it, Seth, do you have an idea of who it could possibly be?
I would have the top three would probably be Edge, John Cena. That's right. I'm going there. Or perhaps, since he had the best spots, John Morrison, Johnny Mundo.
You are completely wrong.
Wrong.
None of those
Delete.
scream in. Let me tell you something.
Tell me
brother.
something.
You said John Cena, Edge, and Morrison were your picks.
I would think some of them
Okay.
like that. But John Morrison.
Let's say John Morrison first.
Okay.
Let's get him out of the way. If I can find his stats real quick.
He was always picked in it though. Never won them. Never won them. I know that, but he always had the high spots.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing his stats
Wow.
in here. He may be in here somewhere, but I wrote down some stats.
Okay.
I didn't come up with anything. Because remember, he had that one where he climbed up to the very
top, and he just falls
and
down
he just
on
dropped down.
him.
it
And then there was
of the-
one
yeah.
where
He was in 2 elimination chambers and only eliminated 2 people total.
okay.
All right, so the other one was John Cena.
That's
John Cena, very good guess.
Mm-hmm.
He has been in 6 elimination chambers,
Jeez.
has won 3 of them. Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminated a total of 5 people. Edge has been in 4.
Mm-hmm.
Same percentage, has won 2, so he's 50% as well. Eliminated only 4 people. Other notables. The other notable would be Chris Jericho,
Yeah.
who has been in 8, which is the record. He's been in the most elimination chamber matches with 8. Has only has one of them, just one, and has eliminated 10 people, which I believe is the record.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 is the record.
Oh.
So he's a very. Oh, just wait, just hold on.
Okay.
So he has a very good case for Mr. Elimination Chamber. One of the other ones was what's I had right here? Oh yeah, Randy Orton
Mm-hmm.
has been in 6, has won 1, has eliminated 5 people. Of course, Shawn Michaels, you might remember, won the very first one.
Yeah.
Appeared in 3 more and couldn't win any of them. And then we have a bunch. What really pads the stats of wrestlers, total wrestlers, is a couple of years ago. Remember they did that tag team elimination chamber that New Day won.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. So there's like a ton more than I don't know. Where I'm going
But
with
for
this.
singles,
yeah,
singles men
I'm
competition.
saying it's just like you look at the total wrestlers that's ever been in elimination chamber. After that tag team one, it just blew up because because first of all, there's a bunch of wrestlers who'd never been in one before and probably won't be in one since. Sorry, Connor and Victor. But
I'm about to say, I was saying the exact same thing.
They're probably not going to be in an elimination chamber.
No,
anytime
they're not
soon.
ever.
So it
They'll
looks
be
like there's been a
5
lot
minutes.
more than actually feels like.
Yeah.
So Mr. Elimination Chamber, and remember, it's official when we say it. With a total of 7 eliminations,
7 times,
6 appearances,
6 appearances.
and this is what makes him Mr. Elimination Chamber. He's had 4 Elimination Chamber wins. Mr. Triple H is our Mr. Elimination Chamber.
Why did I not say that to begin with? I
Triple
knew it was going to
H.
be Triple H.
He has won 4, one more than John Cena. Has eliminated more than John Cena. John Cena's close. Of course, I'm also including. Well, actually, I don't know if that includes. What did I say? I think that includes. Let me see. Including this one coming up, it'll be John Cena's 7th appearance.
Yeah.
So
He'll have the most appearances.
He's still Jericho with 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
But he's going to tie Triple H. But still, Triple H
Has won the most.
has won the most. So there
All
you
right,
go.
well,
Triple H
To
is
you,
our.
Mr. Yeah.
He's Mr. Elimination Chamber. So there you go.
Mr. Elimination. That's what I said.
There we go.
Elimination.
Mr. Elimination Chamber himself. Triple
What
H.
about you, Rhonda? How do you feel about that? Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's your boss now, Rhonda. How do you feel?
Okay, good.
Still
good.
not saying
That's good.
anything. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Well, Seth, you want to plug your podcast, the other podcast you do?
Oh, yes. Thank you about that, Mike. I do appreciate it. Yes, me and my
Legally
girl.
required.
me and the missus, as we call ourselves, Jennifer. What we do is we have a podcast called The Best Little Horror Podcast in Texas. And you can catch us on Totally Driven Radio, which is a blog talk radio, Totally Driven Entertainment. Find us there. We're at we talk about the Grindhouse era movies. We talk about gore, special effects. We're actually trying to get people to interview, hopefully in the future. Last week we just started on a new series where we're going to be watching the Reanimator series. Very good, very cool concept there. And just want to say,
Surprised you haven't watched any of the Cloverfield. I don't know if
Cloverfield's not Grindhouse. You know how I've always liked the late 70s, early 80s.
Cloverfield, and the only reason I mentioned Cloverfield is the new movie dropped last night, surprising everybody. The only reason I mentioned it is because Cloverfield, I don't know if you could classify it as horror.
Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like found footage films, so I didn't see the first one.
You don't like found footage films. Mr. Blair Witch Project over there doesn't like found footage films.
That was one time only. We were all there, and then after everybody started doing it, I got tired of it. You know it. I know it.
Look, I'm not saying Cloverfield is a bad movie. Everybody knows that. But the movies that have followed have been very enjoyable.
I haven't had a chance to see Cloverfield Lane. Is that the one? Yeah, with John Goodman?
Yeah, it was an excellent movie.
Everybody tells me that's a really good...
Excellent. And I'm going to save you some time right now before you try to make connections. Has nothing to do with Cloverfield.
I know it doesn't. People have already said that.
Yeah.
But
has nothing to do.
It's just that when Cloverfield...
Like if they hadn't called it Cloverfield and they called it like The Bunker or something like that.
But
and you didn't know it had any sci-fi element at all, it would have been such a better movie. Yeah,
but I'm just saying, I just never... When Cloverfield came out, it was the time when they were doing, Cloverfield, it's a found footage movie. What? Paranormal Activity, it's a found footage movie. Anything else? Oh, God, there was another one, too. A Grave Encounters, another one. So on and so on. It's like, dude, I'm burned out about this. I don't care.
What was the one where they go to the apartment building and it's like zombies?
Quarantine, that's what it was. Not Grave Encounters, Quarantine. Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm done with this. It's
The first Paranormal Activity was just really spooky, though.
It was spooky.
That was scary. That genuinely was scary.
That was spooky. Yeah. So, but I just...
You know the problem with that movie? It had that thing where like the guy's always trying to have sex with his woman, like on camera.
The 80s thing, yeah.
You know, because that seems like it was so cliche, but like,
and then they put that gag in part 3. It was part 3.
But Paranormal Activity, like the whole movie's like, hey, let's get it on. Like, okay. It's like, dude, come on. You know,
just die.
Like,
just die, dude.
So anyway.
But yeah, but I said...
So you do a little podcast.
Yeah, it's a little podcast called The Best Little Horror Podcast in Texas. And it's on Blog Talk Radio.
I think...
Totally Driven Entertainment.
It's not necessarily horror. I'd say more dark sci-fi.
Yeah.
But you could... I don't know. There's a couple of jump scares in this latest Cloverfield.
But that's what we're doing right now is dark sci-fi.
Then
her and I, we're doing the Reanimator.
Watch, forget about that. Watch Cloverfield Lane.
I'm not watching Cloverfield. If I had to choose between Cloverfield and Dr. Herbert West, I'm going for Dr. Herbert West.
Watch Cloverfield Lane and then watch the new one on Netflix. You don't even have to watch the movie. If for funsies, you can go back and watch that one. But I really recommend Cloverfield Lane. It's not Cloverfield. It's something like 14 Cloverfield Lane or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but they should have just called it Cloverfield Lane. That'd have been so much easier to remember than the actual number. But anyway, that's it for our show tonight.
There you go. Sorry I got on a rant there, but yeah, just catch us there anytime you want to. And Mike,
or catch us outside.
I catch us outside. How about that? Mike, one last thing. Where can I get a podcast like this? Where do I have to go to get this set up?
I don't know. You seem to be doing okay finding podcasts on your own. Before we get to that, I'd like to say we will be live again Wednesday night as well as Friday night. Leonard Zelkin's show is really taken off on Friday night. Anyway, iRadio Waco is the place to be if you would like your own podcast with the most state-of-the-art equipment as well as producers who will help you get your podcast made. Whatever vision you have, we'll help you get there. It is a great deal. If you live in the Waco area, do yourself a favor, contact the iRadio Waco Facebook page. Thank you, Seth. Time to go.
Thank you, Mike. Bye.
We'll go over.